Hi and welcome back to Wistful Woods Farm. I'm Erin and this is our July garden tour. This flower bed takes my breath away. I can't believe how wonderfully it's filled in, and these hibiscus are absolutely stunning. The dahlias have been giving us some absolutely beautiful blooms. The salvia is blooming. It's much taller than it's ever been. The salmon zinnias. Russian sage, which was planted from a cutting that was only 3 inches tall this spring. The roses, we deadheaded them so they're ready for their next big flush. But the foliage is looking really healthy. More zinnias and cosmos. Snapdragons, rudbeckia, more zinnias, and then these dahlias. How precious. This rose was just minding its own little business, staying trim and proper, and then all of a sudden it shot up. It was bare root this year and is now easily 4.5 feet tall, if not 5 feet tall, where this spike is right here. And then the agastache, the bees are loving it. And then the little hibiscus babies that I moved, they were looking a little rough, but they've bounced back. Rudbeckia. And the roses. And over here, more agastache, and I'm gonna have to widen this bed because this quick fire hydrangea has easily doubled this year. It's almost to the grass line. Now this bed is still green and things are blooming, but it's gotten kind of weedy, so we need to get in here and clean it up a little bit. These whirling butterflies are so fun though. And the phlox is so pretty. So we've had a bunch of rain, which has been nice, but with the heat, all of the lettuces have started to bolt, so I need to pull those out. But this is slow bolt lettuce, and it is living up to its name. It is delightfully bright and beautiful. And then the purple sprouting broccoli, I'm really hopeful that it will be as big as it needs to be this fall for us to get a harvest off of it this fall. These pink zinnias are just delightful. And the pollinators love them too. I've never had marigolds at 4 feet tall. I mean, they're just huge. But the basil's bushing up. The peppers have been putting off quite a few jalapenos. The tomatoes are just coming in, and unfortunately we've had raccoons coming in and wiping them out. And the squash is doing okay. I think this one, it gets too much shade over here. But we had a raccoon come in here, and you can see, pulled all the stalks down of the corn that was in here. So we got to figure out, I heard that you can put a battery powered radio in the garden and put it on talk radio overnight and it deters them, and I was really intrigued, so we're going to try that. The green beans have been prolific, especially this variety, and this is contender bush beans. And then on this side we've got purple pole beans and slicing cucumbers, baked alpha cucumbers, and then at the end is pickling cucumbers. And then right here, see the butternut squash babies. Of all the bean varieties that I planted on this trellis, by far the most productive are these purple potted pole beans, and they are just beautiful. Unfortunately, they don't keep their purple when you can them. They do turn back green, but they are stringless. I pick them young and can them, and they've been wonderful. But if you look, they're everywhere. Just literally littering the trellis. We've been pickling. What I really want to do this year is make dill pickles and then dehydrate them and then powder them and use it as pickle powder on popcorn. I saw that on Pinterest and thought I need to try that. But the squash, especially this one, I think it's sweet meat. That's the big one that you see all the way down, and it's got runners that are going off in either direction. The raccoon got in this one too. You can see how much damage that one raccoon did to the garden. So sad. And these tomatoes are quite tall and finally starting to set fruit. I think this one is the striped Roma. Then we had a huge tomato that was just blushing, just getting ready, and it came out. I was gonna grab it and I thought, oh, I'll give it one more day. And that one more day, those stinking raccoons just came and snatched them. But these shishito peppers, they've been putting off quite a load of peppers. These blue creamberry tomatoes, they are some of the sweetest tomatoes. We sure love them. This row was struggling really bad, and I made some donkey manure tea and drenched it, and it really seems like it's helped give it a little pick-me-up. These black strawberry, they're not quite a cherry tomato, more like a saladette, but they blush pink at the bottom and black at the crown. They are my daughter's new favorite tomato in the garden. It couldn't be because they're pink and purple, but. And then these are giant Marconi peppers. And I can't decide if I'm going to wait for them to turn red or pull them now green and start making pasta sauce with them. But the pasta tomatoes, the paste tomatoes and stuff in here are starting to ripen really rapidly, so I think we're going to be in canning tomatoes pretty soon. And out here, the grapes that survived are doing well, and then most of the ones that we transplanted and started from propagations this spring survived, but I have space so that these two over here that are still waiting for a spot will have space here. And then next year we'll get the trellises in and they'll go north-south, and there'll be 3 rows of them. So that's exciting. And the oregano that we started from seed this year. This one is my son's favorite, the yellow pear tomatoes. Those and the golden nuggets. Which is funny that he likes the yellow tomatoes when red is his favorite color. Kids are silly. These are the Joe New Mix tomatoes, I think. I was wrong. These ones are Jimmy Nardello, and just this one, and they're known for being really prolific. Just this one plant has 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 peppers on it. And when you pick them, I guess you can when they're green, but they're best if you wait until they're red, and they are just about there. And they're supposed to be really good roasting peppers. The Sweetheart cherries. These Cubanelle peppers have not, oh, that's a sweet little volunteer. These Cubanelle peppers have not flowered, which is really discouraging. I guess I'm glad that I planted a whole bed of them, so maybe something will happen. And some more of the black strawberry. And then nothing else. We've had one, oh look, there is a flower. So far we've only had one of these purple cayenne peppers. Then the sweet potatoes are a jungle. I do not dare, I mean it needs to be mowed, but I'm not gonna mow while the sweet potatoes are in here. But I can't go in here anymore without boots. Snakes are a scary thing. This one's not quite as crazy as the other. But we've got the Table King acorn squash. And more zucchini. Yeah, and everybody says, oh, you're going to be drowning in zucchini. Well, no. I think there's one white one on this plant. So, we'll see. I've had about 6 or 7 from all total. So we'll see what the rest of the season brings. Then I direct sowed some more bush beans. And then in this garden, we're getting ready to plant all of our fall crops. So we had our collards here that'll keep giving us greens through the summer, but then planted purple kohlrabi and super schmelz, which are huge kohlrabi. And we're going to plant in all this empty space. We're going to do kale in here around these peppers. Our trays are ready. That's today's task. And then the 1,000 head kale and stuff. And in between, we're going to plant beets and turnips. That has turned into a jungle, and I'm just embracing it. I think we're going to tarp it over the winter. If the squash in there survives, more power to it. We're getting ready. We're going to plant some fall potatoes in here. And then in here we've got broccoli and Brussels sprouts around the base. And we're going to do cabbages and kale. And up here, finish it out with turnips. And over here, we're going to do more cabbages. And these green beans, they've been doing okay. I think of all the varieties of green beans we've planted, these Savoy cabbages just warm my heart. They're so pretty. But of all the beans varieties that we've planted, The contender were the best, but then this other variety right here are Kalima, and those are second runner-up. But then the pole beans have started putting on growth. And I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited for a fall garden, as tired as I am. I'll have to look at my plan to see, but this pole bean is definitely the most prolific that I've planted. And I think I did only do this one teepee.